Hi, my name is Kelsey Beaston-Winners, and this is my presentation on the New World Order. Um, was it a violent conspiracy? So, my overall topic was the New World Order conspiracy. Um, I promise this is one of the only slides that I have that have quite a few words on it. But my topic, like I said, was the New World Order conspiracy. My thesis was the New World Order is a right-wing conspiracy theory that is on the rise. It is often talked about by many famous figures, has an anti-Semitic background, and can be described as a theory that can possibly lead to and promote acts of political violence. So, just some background behind the New World Order and just some overall interesting things about it. The background of the New World Order. So, it's a conspiracy based on a one world government. Two popular terms that are constantly or consistently referred to is the cabal and deep state. So, the cabal references these wealthy elitists that would like to have, one world government. They would like to reduce the population to about 1 billion, killing off approximately 7 billion people. The deep state, however, is a very similar situation. The deep state, according to the theory, works alongside with the cabal. The deep state is actually more so in the United States government itself. So it's people in the United States government who work there, such as one of the thoughts is that the Clintons are part of the deep state, and they work alongside popular cabal members, such as Bill Gates, who is a very famous, he's the Microsoft guy, the Microsoft co-owner, co-founder. He came to a lot of money, does a lot of donating to various charities, and over time, he has become one of the biggest people that people turn to whenever they're talking about this specific conspiracy theory. They assume that he is one of the elitists in the cabal. Same with George Soros, who is also a wealthy billionaire. So as we see on the slide, I wanted to add a few pictures to add a little sass to this. So pictured is Kyrie Irving. He's an NBA point guard for the Mavericks. He expressed belief in this conspiracy. He actually shared a video clip from Alex Jones, who is a popular conspiracy theorist. I actually watched this clip myself. It's super interesting. He begins to talk about the New World Order and how they are a tyrannical organization who is trying to take over the world and form a one-world government. The other people that are pictured there, as you can see, the lady with Donald Trump, or President Trump, in that picture, her name is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is a representative from Georgia. She has often talked about the deep state and needing to defeat the deep state in various situations like that. And then the last guy down in the right-hand corner, he was President Trump's former Interior Secretary. From 2017 until 2019. He was let go in 2019, but he had served with Trump from 2017 to 2019. He is now a representative from Montana, and he often talks about the deep state. And when he talks about the deep state, he very clearly mentions the fact that he believes that they are after him and the Republican Party as a whole. So, some more interesting findings. This is more like my interesting finding slides. So I found a poll that I found incredibly interesting. This is a poll that was conducted by the former pollster or a former pollster who worked alongside President Barack Obama in 2008 and his 2012 elections. The guy's name is Joel Benenson, if I could say that right. So this poll had approximately 1,000 participants and found that 44% of the total participants believed that The federal government, in fact, is controlled by a secret cabal. The poll was conducted online and over the course of 3 days, so October 27th, 28th, and 29th. And it also I found this part kind of interesting. So, it is a right-wing conspiracy, the New World Order. But it was found that, like, the Republican respondents, approximately 53% of all Republican respondents agreed with the idea of the government controlling cabal. As for the independent respondents, they followed closely behind with, well, not really closely behind, but behind with 41% of all of them agreeing with the statement. And then coming in last, not surprisingly, but I'm surprised the percentage is even this high. Democrats, the total number of Democrats, or the total percentage of Democrats, was 37% believed that the federal government is controlled by a secret cabal. Which I found that kind of interesting, because I wasn't expecting 37% of the Democrats that participated. I didn't expect them to even toy with the idea that there could be a secret cabal, especially since it's a right-wing idea. So, naturally, I looked more into it, and I also found this kind of interesting, kind of messed up too. It has an anti-Semitic background behind the theory. Now, this varies based on each person. There are plenty of people who believe in the New World Order who aren't anti-Semitic. I personally know a few, and they are in no way anti-Semitic. It's just the theory itself, or the theory or conspiracy itself does have kind of this background to it. So, one of the reasons that people claim that it can be anti-Semitic is because it comes from the idea that members of the cabal are extremely wealthy elitists, and some may then draw conclusions that the cabal may be made up of Jewish members due to this negative stereotype. The negative stereotype being wealthy Jews, because they are penny pinchers, money grabbers, etc., which we know that is a negative stereotype, but that is one that feeds into the anti-Semitic background that could be behind this theory. And finally, there were just general reasonings, like general findings that I found extremely interesting as well. It's the various reasonings behind why people believe the New World Order, such as the different quotes from Bill Gates that they read out of context, saying that he would have, he originally fought for, or spoke out for, the decrease in population, but various fact checkers came through and found that was not exactly what he meant. Found that pretty interesting. So, finally, it wouldn't make any sense to conclude this paper without mentioning that, just why it's important to look at this specific topic, the New World Order. So it's an important conspiracy to understand because there's a large number of people that believe it. I personally know 3 or 4 people who believe this issue. Now, do I think they're going to become violent over it? Not at all, but I do know that there could be potential for that. So it also has to feed into the growing distrust for the government. I know in recent times, the U.S. has become even more polarized than it was before. A lot of times people a lot of people in recent times have begun to distrust the government with supposed election fraud that happened, just a bunch of things that came up in the last few years. So like I mentioned, there is a possibility for political violence to occur. So when people feel as though their rights and way of life are being threatened, their personal freedoms, they tend to be more apt to demonstrate their disagreements with the establishment in a much larger way than peaceful protesting. Not saying they necessarily would, but it presents the opportunity to do so. People who believe in the New World Order, as discussed earlier, fully believe that their personal freedoms and rights are being threatened by elitist members of the deep state and cabal. This fear could lead to people overreacting over certain legislations that they believe, such as like gun control legislations that may come to being, and other legislations such as that. So this could incite political-related violence. And then finally, here are my list of slides, or my list of references. Thank you.